Okay, this shit works, boys. This shit works. Okay, shut the fuck up. What's up, guys? What is good, guys? How is everyone? Friday, guys. Weekend, okay? We can relax. So, do you have any questions, guys? Huh. Do you have any fucking questions for me? Huh. Yeah, what's Gucci? Listening and well, let's see how today's monkeyism. You should probably this should count as not safe for work because I'm gonna be doing some fucked up shit, stripping and all doing all kinds of shit. But what's up? Entj SLE is possible. If only if they're Spsx. No, Entj SLE is not as possible. Sir, if you've been watching my channel, you know there's no such thing. There's no such thing. But look at this, guys. See? Now we have StreamYard. You know what this means? Your messages can be seen by the whole fucking community, which is good. Makes communication way easier. So I'll explain why. Your instincts don't matter when it comes to ENTJ, right? Doesn't fucking matter. Suddenly you're SPSX, so you can be an ENTJ. No, 8 core. Remember this: ENTJs are rational people. They lead by TE dominance, which is a rational um, function, right? It's all about standards. It's all about adhering to certain standards and being led by them, sacrificing pleasure for standards. SP8 is about immediate satisfaction and acting on impulses completely freely. Okay, so good job. This is a troll question, and you win. Have you watched Top Boy? Thoughts on unorganized SP6 in Big Five? I mean, I, I guess I don't know. It's one of those things where it's kind of in the middle. I don't want to like bet my money on it and be like, yeah, sure, yeah, it's not gonna work. Um, I guess I could see it more with an IEI. Like if an IEI SP6, I could see it more if that was a thing. Again, I would not bet my fucking money on it, but I'm open to it. Is SLIE SP9? I think ignore. Listen, SP9 is SP7 is the much more 8 core. It's the most 8 core, 7 core, right? Like they're the most 8 coded. I'm gonna vomit on the fucking stream. I just ate fuck ton of chicken. But either way, it's the most 8 coded. And LIE being 9 fixed, like how the fuck would that make any sense? Think about it, right? Like completely SI polar, dude. Like doesn't really fit TE base either, in my opinion. So that's weird as fuck. You said high volition can be very lazy. So there's a distinction between sometimes being lazy because something doesn't interest you. Okay, you guys need to understand. Listen, if you pay, people call you lazy because maybe you're not a tryhard, right? Maybe the shit that people want you to do is boring to you. Maybe in school you didn't try hard because you don't give a fuck, so you're perceived as lazy. That can be something 1V can do, high volition, especially 1V because it's result. Um, but at the end of the day, 1V, if they feel passionate about something, if they want to try to do something, they will do it 100%. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so you will still be a person who, when they do something, they go full in. So keep that shit in mind. Um, what are your thoughts about SP6 being one? That's a normal thing. You cannot be a 6 core without being 1L. That's my. I don't believe in anything that. What? 6 core 1F, 6 core 1E? Doesn't make any fucking sense. I think 1L is perfect. Now, Rust SX1 for L seems odd. Not because it's. Now, SX1 is not this like. SX1 is all super volitional individual who has entitlement to enforce anything he wants, right? And I think an example of that would be like the character from movie Whiplash. Why the fuck would I type the guy from Whiplash as VFLE? Why? He doesn't fit for E, in my opinion. He seems like he's very much VFEL. So that's my opinion. Moving on quickly. Is Paul? I don't know Paul Pot. Isn't that a motherfucker who? Listen, no fucking idea about his type. Guys, believe it or not, for example, VLEF, which is ILE, they can be very fucking lazy. Believe it or not, even our idealized social twos, which are 1V and often 4F, right, as an archetype, very lazy. They can be very lazy, right? And it's weird. Oh, ambitious. They can be lazy fucks. Don't let that mislead you. So just saying. I don't think. Listen, as I said, there's no such fucking thing as 1E fucking SP7. If you just read SP7, just read the book. Just read the fucking book. Or better yet, ask for the book. I will link it on my channel somewhere if you write a comment somewhere. In my opinion, they're not. In my opinion, it would probably be um, SX4. I would see SX4 as the most limbic type of all. Probably. That would be my guess. Just because I just don't see why I would type him. He's very closed off, very emotionally harsh, very emotionally hard. And his any expression that there is, it's just anger. That's it. Just harshness. Love your brutal truth. Thank you so much, Matt. Um, it's hard for me to pull them up now, but just write any on any of my videos. Write a comment. I'm gonna see the comment, and I'm gonna send you the resources you want. I can send you. I don't know, right? I can send you all the books of Enneagram, the subtype books, and you can start from there, and maybe some PY sources, whatever the fuck. John Marston. The thing is, I used to think John Marston. They're both very similar people. They seem both SP9, but it's been a while since I've played the game. Stratievska. I think Stratievska was one of the first sources I was using. So one of the first sources I used, and I personally I found that. Listen, I'll tell you this: every source has benefits and disadvantages. Some of them, have flaws. All the upsides and downsides, they all have them. You need to pick and choose what the fuck you think is better based on your experience, how you view it, what do you think is most accurate. Personally, for me, Stratievska was not bad. It's not a bad source, and I've often used it when trying to argue with people or trying to understand the types, because often Stratievska does go very in depth, which I found very useful. SX4 the most limbic. I cannot stop taking L's. I would say so. I would say it's the most limbic because think about it. They're 4 core, so they're very emotional. You gotta realize that SP6 is still much more a mental type. It's much more head oriented type. They're not as connected to the heart as, for example, SX4 would be. So SX4 has anger, very high. They could, I would say, on average, probably have higher anger, and all the other shit that they probably have also fucking up there. So probably very neurotic. Will there be any roasting videos as you've made with dualities? Um, maybe, yeah. The roasting video, yeah, that shit was funny. Just that was, it's funny because that was a good excuse for me to just uh, insult types. It was a good fucking excuse. But on a serious note, it's funny. I might do something like that. Maybe with PY. I might do with PY maybe. So that would be funny. Good to see you streaming, man. Oh, yo, what's up? Of course, brother. What's up? What would you say the idea of by default? Um, the idea that is the individual busy with impactful plans. I would say I think that's misleading. I think that's misleading because we all think 1V is so focused on plans and creating those plans, but that's not really true. You're not describing 1V. You're not describing a result placement. You're describing process placement. Someone who's constantly focused on his plans and creating new plans. That's not result orientation. Now, would I say it's ambition? No. And I don't even need to argue about like theory. Look at so many fucking degenerate 1V people. You think all 1V people live as those kings who want to achieve greatness? Many of them are fucking absolute degenerates. I'm talking about usually the 8 course who fucking do fuck all in life, but they feel completely entitled to whatever the fuck they want to do. So if they want to sit on their ass for 10 hours, they will do exactly that without any shame or any fucking bullshit. And if you try to stop them, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself. So that's true. Maybe they want to sell fucking drugs. They'll do that. So the way I see it is a complete freedom in your direction, whatever it may be. Doesn't have to be your ambition, like some huge plans. It's instilling your will and having the autonomy and control over your life. That's why I always say. Of course, depends on the second placement. 1V 2F is very different from 1V fucking 2E, right? So the way our image of first will came from it came from sorry, my brain fucking lag because I was thinking about my microphone. But it came from 1V2F, right? VFLE. That's our image of first will. But that's not all first will is, man. There are many first will, like even VLEF, which is an I elite. It's not some dominatrix motherfucker who just wants to conquer the world. So, again, in my opinion, fuck that. Is Dutch? Sorry, guys. By the way, there is a bit of a lag for me when I'm streaming, so be patient. I will answer your questions. Yes, Dutch is a social to EIE. Million percent. Oh my god, dude, play the game. Play the game. Red Dead Redemption is an amazing game, and dude, he's such a fucking bullshitter, man. Geralt, I think if I remember correctly, I think Yennefer SO2 EIE. I used to be like, oh, she must be like an SO3 back in the day when I was first starting. Cold and whatever the fuck, image oriented, cool SO3. And Geralt probably SP9. But I think am I fucking. There's so many fucking different like like the books, the fucking shows. I forgot already. In most websites, descriptions about SP8 are superficial. Can you better explain the antisocial tendencies? I was watching, but this shit frustrates me. SP8, just like any really other subtype of 8, has been butchered, and that's not really that strange because we don't have the books, we don't have the subtype books to explain them. But, okay, but basically they're considered the most antisocial actually, so SP8 is actually the most antisocial by really just wanting to get what they want. So it's full of egoism, type focus on their immediate satisfaction while dismissing anything that kind of stops in their way. So it's not a type that really goes along with the structures of society. Now, that's not to say they cannot play within them, because it's often described as a wolf in sheep's clothing by Naranjo. They can use hierarchies to gain more power, to be in positions of tyranny over others, to have the autonomy to do whatever they want by kind of playing with the hierarchies, playing with those rules. They know how to do that. But generally, you see SP8s don't give a fuck about, like, they're very antisocial, just truly go their own fucking way, and probably the most uncooperative 8 core. How is your relationship with God or even your parents as 1V? Maybe it will help this, but I'm a rationalizer and I think they're more of an invention. It's funny, but I think the same way. I mean, I genuinely think, personal opinions. Yeah, it was the way I view listen, the way I view God is a bit different than the way I view religion. I view religion as an organization, but I view it as something that is there's no really room for it as much now, because religion, it started as, in my opinion, it was used as order in our society. So that's what it was used for. Don't kill, don't steal, don't do this, don't do that, and that worked. That worked because that created order, and people needed that order because we are fucking degenerate monkeys, animals. We need the order. So I think it helped. But now, like, do you need those like weird fucking rules if you already there's a law that makes sure you don't cross any of that shit? Not necessarily. Now, another thing with God, he's obviously, many people need purpose. Many people need certain sense of safety, higher power. And I think people need that. They need the meaning. Because imagine just living, just to live life, just to enjoy life. And for many people, it's difficult. Now, my relationship with God, I don't believe in God. Um, I don't believe in God. And I was always very, even as, when I was 15, 16, I used to get in fights with my parents. Because again, I'm from Poland, pretty Christian here. I was rebellious. I used to say, "No, I don't fuck. Why would I believe that?" And I'm gonna voice my opinion, and I'm gonna stand behind my beliefs because what the fuck? Why shouldn't I? Those are my beliefs. That's the only thing I have. So I stood behind them and be like, "Yeah, fuck. There's no fucking such shit in my opinion." So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yo, Ross, do you think Elfie? No, man. No, no, no. Listen, SO6 is much more cooperative. SO6 is very 2V. Okay, it's very 2V. So forget, if you're thinking you're LFVE, and let's say you really are LFVE, right? It's not a mistype. You're just a sexual 6. You're not SO6. You're not SO6. I am Polish. Yeah, I'm Polish. Yes. Um, Roy from Mr. In Between. I'm not sure if I would type Roy as reserved. I never thought about him about typing him reserved. Really, I mean, maybe he is, but I never. That shit never crossed my mind. I mean, I should think about it, but no, I definitely do still type him SP8. Full typing of Kurt Cobain. I don't know full typing of Kurt Cobain. Never really gave a fuck about him. But from what I know, I think ISO4 or something. I don't know the rest. Five. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the curse of being an image type. All image types can struggle with neuroticism. They're much more connected to heart, so it makes sense. EIE SO2. Well, listen, SO2 EIE is the perfect type for a villain. I mean, think about it. This Entj8 back in the day, this villainous Entj8 mastermind manipulator was actually EIE SO2. So it's the perfect villain, right? So wants social domination, wants social power, and he's superior. He's above everyone else. So it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect. Now LIE is P7, because he's a selfish fucking charlatanistic motherfucker who will do anything to get power. I guess also makes for a good villain. Is it normal for 4V to be? I think 4V is slapped on. 4V doesn't have to mean that you don't have any fucking ability to have a ball sack. It's completely unconcerned with volition. It's not insecure. And we often kind of say that your fourth placement is fearless, like in an example of 4F person who is willing to run for miles and miles without like fucking completely dissociated with no fucks to give, right? To be in a fight and get damaged without any fucks to give. Those are some of the signs of the fearless predisposition. So I think with 4V, many of them can seem almost fucking arrogant, almost like able to just go through life without fucks to give. I think you can be a determined individual. Many SLIs can be that way. I don't see a problem with it. Guys, I'll tell you something about religion. Another thing for me with religion is that I'm just not. I genuinely mean it. Even if I try to be religious, I would fail. I would genuinely fail because I'm not a fucking TI base. It's not easy. It's not like so natural to just obsess about rules to that stage and constantly restrict my life in order to fit those rules. I can't do that, like I would fuck up. I don't want a life that restricts me. I do believe that many I believe people need purpose. Okay, people need purpose. Often religion gives that purpose. So I understand the value in that, where people kind of need that thing. And I think it can teach the right principles. So that it teaches them rules that they fucking need because they're fucking monkeys. Without those rules, they'll fuck up. So I think it's a good thing in that sense. Polska górą. Yeah, let's go. Poland. Crimson King. I wonder if there's a correlation between 1V and lack of belief. The whole something else guiding your path is quite anti 1V. It's so complicated. I can tell you this much because I can sit here and say I don't believe in God, but I can guarantee I will find multiple literally or I can literally pull up 8 cores who believe in God. Like 8 cores who actually believe in God are very, very religious. So I don't want to sit here and say you cannot believe in God if you first will. Not I don't believe that. Because at the end of the day, listen, let's imagine you are a Muslim born into Islam, right? You are in that country where Islam is the number one. That's the religion. They take the religion very seriously. So chances of you being religious are very high. Okay, even if you first will. So in my opinion, it's a bit complicated. You can draw some correlation, but then you will see some exceptions. So it's always gonna be the fucked up thing. Where about? I'm kind of like in Gdańsk, around the area in Gdańsk. Now you went to Krakow, which is nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, and I know. Listen, I was out today for a few hours, and the weather was shit. Like I'm talking about rain all fucking day. Like raining is shit. Now it's a bit warmer, but my god, the weather is fucking garbage. What do you think about making a video about Enneagram and possible clinical diagnosis? I thought about doing that before in the past. I already thought about doing it. Now many people don't like it, and those people who don't like it are fucking retarded. Now I'll tell you why they're retarded. First of all, Naranjo himself, which we obviously follow, if we follow his teachings, he has clinical fucking background, and he used Enneagram as ways to kind of draw patterns to clinical diagnosis. And I've read it; it makes perfect sense, even on a logical person's brain, without reading Naranjo, you will. I used to correlate the conditions, personality disorders, to different anagram times since the beginning of time because it makes fucking sense, right? So there's always this correlation. And the way I look at it, your disorder is almost like a extreme manifestation of your neurosis. That's what it is, like a 5 core with the avarice being taken to such extreme, it can seem almost schizoid. 8 core with that last being taken to such extreme with all the different personality qualities, it seems very antisocial. So I should make that. That would blow the fuck up. Wings should be considered. No, no. Listen, dude. Wings are fucking like a source of stress and confusion. No one ever. I used to fucking go with my wings left and right ever since I started doing my, typology left and right. Oh, A wing 9, A wing 7, A wing 9, A wing 7. It's always left and fucking right. And there's no real way to type it because someone says, well, A wing 9 is this and A wing 7 is this. And it's like everyone has different fucking ideas. So in the end, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, fuck the wings. Don't bother with the wings. Tri type, it's better. It's better, it's not fucking perfect. It's also not fucking perfect, but Do you believe in integration and disintegration? Um, this is very interesting because I feel like this integration and disintegration is often used as a coping mechanism for people to type themselves, to mistype. Oh, I'm this way. I'm an 8, but I'm very quiet. I'm very meek, and I'm not a domineering personality because I'm disintegrated into a 5. So that's why. So it's used as a cope, and that's particularly why I don't like it. But is there merit to it? How it's hard for me to say without really. I cannot just look at it at how it applies to me. I would need to look at everyone else. I would need to observe how people. I would really need to observe this, how people work within this integration and disintegration, and how much of it is just you trying to justify something. That could be it. That typology is pseudoscience. You might try to justify certain aspects using typology, which we all fucking did at some point. We all did. By definition, both the fourth and the second are quite fearless placements. The fourth is unbothered and it doesn't give a fuck. That's what makes it quite fearless. I'm not even for FSP4. That's not even a thing. If I believe if I'm correct, like that SP4 that's completely unbothered physics. You have to remember most SP4s are ESIs, and those are not for physics. They have high physics. For example, FVEL. So th- it's not that for listen the 4F willingness to be heard. They still don't fuck. They still don't prioritize physics, right? So there's a lot of that unbothered um, focus. They just don't give a fuck about it. And it's a person who can, in extreme situations, endure something like physical pain. But how much of it is fucking true and how much of it is just garbage that's written in theory, we will not fucking know. Now, SP4, in the case of ESI, which is high SE ego type, they're very physically oriented, often building their strength, right? To become stronger, to endure that prioritization of the physical world sounds more high physics. Whew. What's your what's your favorite author on Socionics? Um, listen, I've been more going into old school socionics. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been going to more the old socionics path. So that's kind of so Oshra, right? So Oshra is where I am at more likely now. So my definitions of like LSC and LSI, the schizo LSI, schizophrenic LSI comes from Oshra. Many people have different variation of LSI. They think it's this very like dominant, domineering, and extroverted person almost, right? Yelling at people and forcing shit. They think that's a fucking introvert. They think that's a fucking LSI. It's not a fucking LSI, but again, it depends on the interpretation. For me, Osha is good. You know, Stratievska, I used to read her fucking descriptions, also good, you know. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just something I've been using since I was a kid. So it's too late for me. Although I know. Listen, you know, it's funny. I'll tell you something. There was this person I used to argue. I had this argument on personality database once, and I said, "You fucking." I told someone like, "You fucking autistic or something." Like, shut the fuck up. And she was like, "Oh, you're an ableist. You're an ableist." And I'm like, "What the fuck does ableist even mean?" We're like, "What the fuck is ableism?" You know, crazy shit. Of course, I don't fucking dislike people like that. The fuck? Just because I called you fucking retarded doesn't mean I like hate on minorities, bro. Calm down, you know. Limbic SX9. I think that's common. It's probably common, dude. It's probably fucking common. It's probably rare to be calm, SX9. ILI can never be 1V. Have you ever thought about making a video doing a serious typing? Yes, I actually did. That was a couple of months ago where I was trying to. I was making those like very long clips of videos, you know, like minute, 2 minutes. But that kind of backfired, you know, because you get copyrighted. You get those copyrights, so you cannot use them. So for me, it's kind of like, what the fuck? I have to use 10-second clips, maybe 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds if I'm lucky to really capture, because me just talking about it is not as fun as me talking about it and showing it to you as an example. That's at least how I would want to see it. I mean, I could do that. I could do that. That could be an ambitious thing to do in terms of the channel, and it would be fun because I like editing like that, you know, adding some scenes. I like doing that. Did you have a mistype before discovering your type? Listen, I don't think anyone that's watching this stream has not mistyped in any system. It would be literally fucking impossible. It doesn't happen. It genuinely, I don't believe it fucking happens not to ever mistype. Have I mistyped myself? I've mistyped my MBTI. You know, I've been typed ENTJ, I've been typed ENTP. So I was like, oh, ENTP. I've mistyped my MBTI. I never really actually typed anything else in Socionics. So since the beginning, listen, I can't. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Right? I ENTP. I'm typing as an ENTP, and I hear Socionics. So my natural fucking understanding is that, you know, of course, you know, I'm an ENTP, so I must be an ILE. But everyone's like, you're not a fucking ILE, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay. So let me fucking see. Let me read, right? And then I figured out, yeah, what the fuck, you know? So I'm an SLE. So I figured I'm an SLE. I used to think I'm an ENTP SLE. I'm like, I used to say, that's a good combination. That's a perfect combination. I used to like defend it, you know, like fucking ENTP. That's what I'm saying, guys. You think we all been there, man. We all been there, like ENTJ8. We've all fucking been there, but we fucking learn. Hopefully, because if you don't learn, if you still stuck in that shit, then fuck you. But we all learn. So that's how if never really mistype my anagram, never mistype really my socionics really. Okay, explain the anime, explains the anime. The kid who doesn't want to play sports become it could be, the thing with psychosophy, you cannot look at small details, like some people tell me, well, I fit forever very well, but I like fucking all day long, and I'm like, okay, right, you think you fit it perfectly, it's your result, right? You're not fucking 1F, so okay, makes sense. And now the placements make sense. So just because you're fucking all the time, you think you're not gonna be 4F? Nah. So don't nitpick small details. Can it be a sign of 3F? Because they're scared of getting physically damaged? Possibly, I guess in theory, that's what theory says. What are your subtypes for VFLE? Fuck, man. I I think my F was strong or something like one. I forgot, man. The subtypes I forgot. My E was like one. I think it was the expressive one. The fucking crazy sometimes one. That was, I think, my subtype. I forgot the fucking number. My volitional placement. I'm still on my volitional subtype. I'm still kind of torn. I'm thinking it's either 2 or 4. Thinking that oh, people used to type in 1v2, and I'm thinking either that or 4. My logic is interesting because it would be either very process, so or also very processing, or it would be a very it's funny that I'm saying this, it might be very lazy logic, like I can seem like a geek a lot about, but I'll often just be like, yeah, get the fuck out. So it depends. Subtypes are, when you're dealing with so much nuance and you're trying to apply it to yourself, it's difficult for me to type myself. It's actually more difficult than it is for me to type other people. I don't know why, because I don't really reflect on my fucking behaviors or motivations. I don't reflect on my motivations, so it's hard sometimes. Opinion about these D and and Socionics makes sense. Listen, it's part of Model G. If you use Model G and you use it correctly, I know a friend who does. He's gonna type me, or he did, or he's trying to. Um, they can be useful. They can be useful because they can explain differences between types and variety. They can give variety to types, so they can be useful. But as I said in the DCNH videos, is that they can be used as a coping mechanism. For example, Anakin Skywalker being LSI creative subtype. There's no universe that in Model A you'd ever type Anakin Skywalker as a fucking LSI. Of course, then you'd say he's not like all the other LSIs. She's not like the other girls. She slept the whole time, but she ain't like the other girls. Same shit here. That is garbage. KSI is probably 8 core. Yeah, he's probably like an SX8, maybe. I maybe like a healthy SX8, SCE. I don't see. You have to understand. I don't think you can be an ethical type and be a 3 core. You have to understand that. That's not that. I don't believe in that combination. So of course I would never say KSI would be a 3 core, but I think he's an 8. He's an 8. Vlad Vladimir, I don't fucking know, and I don't give a fuck about that. I only geek about certain things, so this is outside of my 3L radar. Can I introvert feeling intuitive can be can you be okay, ask yourself this question. Can you be an EII and be SP4? In my opinion, you can. Jin Air is an example of it. It's a good example of it. Punisher is an SLE. Now, there's nothing TI based about Punisher. He goes around and he loves killing people. He loves beating people the fuck up and constantly feeling the uh, punishing people, right? Ego vengeance, right? Just fucking wanting to destroy them and liking to fight. Being very, very action oriented, being very quick to act in a moment, and sometimes be impulsive because of it. He's not an LSI. He's not an LSI. What do you mean? What do you mean by this? By the way, this question. I did not understand this question. Ask me again, my friend. Jake Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jake Paul is a mystery. But one of those days, I might sit down and I might try to type him because he's a mystery to me. He has that a bit of the autism. He has that a bit of the autism. Seems SLE to me. Seems very SLE to me. Is he? Why would he be? Why would he be? Even if we just look at Enneagram, why would he be a three core? I mean, the guy was. He used to be this fucking abusive motherfucker, abusing people left and right in his like little. He had his TV show. He abused his fucking teammates. He gave no fucks. So I'm kind of like, just because he wants to dominate people and be like great in fucking boxing doesn't mean he's really a three core. I don't know. I need to think about this. I'll tell you this, my friend. I would never, never in a million years sit here, circle jerk this concept to you or to anyone and think it's fiction and think it's bullshit. It's like a fairy dust or it's like astrology. I'm a person who's very critical of anything that's not real. Anything. I don't. I've spent hours arguing with people who are like, but astrology. And I'm like, or like tarot. And I'm like, but tarot's not fucking real. Like, once we accept tarot's not real, we can have a conversation. But just tell me it's not real because it ain't. Right? So I would never know. I do think it's true. 100 million motherfucking percent. And for me to deny it would be to be delusional. I see it. I see it so clearly in my life. How do you find the subtypes for PI placements? There is a website for it. Just I think if you look up psychosophy subtypes, you should see some websites. Why are you against cosplaying, Rust? Um, we live mainly because it's an era of cosplaying. Because we live in this era of, likes, social media, motherfuckers becoming influencers and trying to make you act a certain way. You should be like this. You should be like that. Try to fucking do this, become the gym, the money, and I never like this type of shit. I don't like this type of shit and being fake. And I do find it as very weak. Like if you're gonna don't like people or cosplay to fit in and the cosplay I do view it as fucking weak. That's weak. It's just weak. Just be yourself. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a fucking pussy. Say what you think because most people don't say what they think. Most people don't. Why the fuck do you think some guy, some random guy on the internet, goes on the internet and is vulgar and says what he thinks, even though no one likes him? Somehow this person garners thousands and thousands of followers, maybe even millions, because everyone wants to say what he says, but no one fucking has the balls to, because everyone's fucking scared, because everyone's about adhering to some fucking type of image, or like, again, I just do think, just be yourself, right? Don't Just be yourself. Why an anagram is so accurate? We can argue anagram is even more accurate, because I do feel there is much more clinical backstory behind anagram. You have to understand, because anagram touches the neurosis of who you are, right? The core of who you are, the neurosis. So in a sense, it's much more close to true psychology than socionics would ever be. Your cognition, how you process information. But anagram is about your defense mechanism, your defense mechanisms, your fixations, your neuroses, that emotional nature of yours, what kind of gets you ticked off. And that is what's very like the again, I think Enneagram can be used in clinical setting. And look at what Naranjo did. He was a fucking clinical individual. He was a clinical psychologist who used that in his, again, in his private time. He had a clinical approach to Enneagram. He used to interview hundreds of people to see the patterns between them, and then he wrote books about, right? Oh, this is this subtype, this is this subtype, because he had a very clinical attitude. So in my opinion, that's what makes Enneagram so motherfucking good. Are you gonna be getting a model? Listen, I'll tell you this. I played beta. So I played beta. I liked it, even though it's funny because nothing changed. Nothing really changed other than recoil. Time to die changed. Okay, so it took a bit longer to kill someone, but the gunplay felt better. I don't know if it's just the sound. Like they made it better. So, but at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, man, this feels like Modern Warfare 2, like a patch. This feels like a patch. This doesn't feel like a standalone new game. Would I spend 60 fucking dollars, 70 fucking dollars on that? Doesn't make sense to me, It just doesn't make sense. Um, Maybe if I get fucking horny enough, like I need to fucking play it. If I'm gonna be horny enough, that's just gonna happen, right? So we'll see. Oh, I'm gonna fucking no, my friend. No, if you are SP3 and you are considering, they are saying VLFE, definitely VLFE makes more sense than LVFE. 1L for SP3, I don't see why that would work. John Jones would never be John Jones would never be SX6. I don't think people know what the fuck sexual six is. John Jones, SX6. No, he is SLE SP8, million percent. It's funny, but Jake Paul might be. I listen. I used to hate on him, be like this motherfucker. But he might be. It should be considered. He has the autism. He has the autism, guys. Watch some of his interviews. He has that SLESP autism. He does have it. Punisher is gamma. I guess because of like the revenge, the concept of revenge. But he cannot be. Listen, he's not an ESI. And this is where the conflict of people who know Socionics and the conflict of people who know Socionics and Enneagram comes into play. Punisher Punisher doesn't fit any of the Enneagram that would ever work with Gamma. None of them. So nothing's consistent. His personality is not consistent. If we type him as Gamma, it wouldn't be. He's not a 6. What the fuck else? He's not SP4, right? So SPA would be a perfect fit, and that would be consistent with the interpretation of him as an SE base. Oh my god, I fucking puked. I nearly puked. Type tips. I think I've heard of type tips, but I don't recall. I think I've heard of him, but I don't really spend much time looking at other channels. I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason why people say Punisher is Gamma is because he is driven by revenge. That's the mentality, and that's to say, okay, yeah. You know what's also driven by revenge? Enneagram 8 to instill lust, right? And the sadism of Punisher that he really goes about doing those things really is clear. So, yeah, I would not type Punisher just looking at the quadra values. I do think quadra values are important, but we need to be careful. You don't submit it, my friend. You just ask a good question, and hopefully, if I am not overwhelmed by a million of them, I will answer. Yeah, I'll give you some examples. You want some examples of males? Okay, I'll give you some examples. Give me a second, okay? David Bowie, David Bowie, I'm sorry, Adolf Hitler, Tupac Shakur, Martin Luther King, Dutch from Red Dead Redemption, Marcus from Detroit Becoming Human, Griffith from Berserk. Those are some examples of male SX2s. Some other subtypes can be like Damon Salvatore from Sexual 2, the Corinthian probably from Sandman, either that or SX8, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat SX2. Those are some of the examples. Male SP2s are hard to find though, other than like Homelander maybe. Unhealthy SP4, it's actually a reality. It's not that strange to see it because, okay, okay, you know that there is a fetish of David Goggins. I made a short of him, right? Oh, I was pissing blood. Cool. But people don't understand that I took one look at fucking Goggins and I'm like, hmm. So I read more, Okay, read more. Came out, this motherfucker is a masochistic fucking circle jerker. He's very unhealthy. People think David Goggins, the SP4, is very healthy. He's extremely unhealthy. And when he talked about how he deals with trauma, I understood he's like peak unhealthy SP4. So he takes all this pain, all this insecurity, and he has to every single day suffer. He has to push through something challenging because it gives him strength of that security. Without that shit, he fucking dies. He falls apart. He always grinds that demons, feeling inadequate. He takes those feelings and he uses them when he's trying to harden himself, trying to become hard. But fuck, dude, fuck, he is so fucking unhealthy. You could discuss it on your channel, but the thing is, you still have to explain the inconsistency in an anagram. It doesn't really matter because even if you make an argument for like gamma, you have to still explain why the fuck he wouldn't fit an anagram that's supposed to be gamma. You cannot say, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, I don't do anagram, or like, oh, and no, I don't believe that. No, there has to be an explanation. There is not a single explanation, not a single one. It doesn't exist. So meaning it's not consistent. It's completely inconsistent. And if it's inconsistent, it doesn't fit. Doesn't The pieces don't fit. Meaning it's describing two different personalities. Punisher ain't that motherfucking shit. So that's my opinion. So even if people make the arguments, okay, someone please explain the inconsistency with the fucking anagram. I'll listen. Thoughts on Voltology and correlations. Listen, you can sit here and tell me, okay, a person maybe moves a lot. Maybe their eyes shift a lot. They might be SE base or they might be NE base. I could see this. Maybe they're moving their arms a lot. They're moving their body a lot. I could see that could make some sense to me. But once you get higher than that and tell me his fucking eyebrow moved 1 fucking inch left, motherfucking, it's doing circles on his fucking forehead. What the fuck, right? That's when you're reaching. That's when you're fucking going in the spaghetti fucking land. Absolutely not. That at that point is bullshit. So it just depends how far you're taking this correlation. Voltology is just about patterns. Those people who are deep into voltology probably they're trying to find patterns, and then maybe when there are none. Are there any typology creators you'd recommend? I would recommend Porcupine Jason. He was just in this chat. He was just typing earlier. Porcupine Jason. He has a good channel. He talks about socionics. You can learn some different views, different ways of looking at it, offer different types of information. That's good. Now, Enneagram, if I'm being honest with you, there is not a single good content on Enneagram. I'm not lying. There's really probably not a single content I can think of that's good. Although there is one content, I've seen one channel, doesn't have many videos, but it's called Typology Talk, not Typology Talk, Typology Tehoha bullshit, some fucking anime shit. So this anime shit, she makes good videos. She's known on TikTok. And I've seen some of her videos, not like, of course, some things I disagree with, but I would be a hater to say she sucks. She's really fucking good. Okay, yeah, typology, type, ho. Wow, I just realized it's fucking typology. Type ho. Let that sink in. Typology. I just fucking realized it. Fuck. Not a good look. Not a good look. She's the only one that does PY as well. She does PY. She does it well. Um, it's hard to you can nitpick people and be like a hater. Oh yeah, she said this wrong, but I think genuinely she's good for the community. She does very well. So she doesn't do many of those videos. She should do more. EVLF fits IE. Then I suggested be like, it's pronounced typho. Why the fuck would it be pronounced typho? Typho? Nigga, it says it says ho. Or you mean, oh, it's because it's the PHO, right? So it's like fo. Why? Why would you make it so complicated? George Constanza. I don't know who that is. Jade, I don't know who that is. Type ho. Type ho. I was thinking it's Typology. And I'm thinking, she don't vibe like ho. I was thinking she don't vibe like ho. And I don't see much hoism. So I was kind of confused. Can ELF be EII SO4? Possibly. EII SO4 is an interesting thing. As I said many times, I'm very open to it. I mean, if it's a thing, it's a thing, but fuck me, man. I used to be like, fuck EII fucking SO4. Fuck off. This thing, oh, this is a good one. Distinguishing between Enneagram 5 and Enneagram 6. Think of it like as simple as don't listen to those who will fucking say something else. Okay? This is a motherfucking demand. But Enneagram 5, out of the box, very eccentric thinker. That's what you need to think about. They think introverted intuition. When you think Enneagram 5, that's what you should link it to, introverted intuition. It's very interpretation based. It's very open in its thinking, open ended. One on Enneagram 6, on the other hand, is very linear in its thinking. It's very rigid. It's very rational. It's very logical. It's all about that rigidity, that logical rigidity in reasoning. So it's like comparing introverted intuition to introverted thinking. That's the difference. Easy peasy, lemonade squeezy. You've got a type. Who is this? You've got a type. Dr. Tom LaHue, listen. Listen. I listened to Dr. Tom LaHue a long time, but let's be honest. No hate. Just pure objective honesty. LaHue relies on books, on reading it. He relies on having that book and reading it. Okay, this book, this author says this. Okay, well, yeah, okay. That, it's a bit fucking problematic for me. Another thing, the editing of the videos. Guys, fuck, don't make it 1 hour long without editing it. I don't want to see you fucking go on a tangent. Fuck. So, but other than that, he's great. I think there. I cannot tell you about this fucking DCNH Socionics types. If you wanted for me to tell you, the way I draw differences between types primarily is through Enneagram, not through subtypes like that. That's my more preferred method because it's much different. Like SP5 ILI is different from SO5 ILI. There's gonna be some major differences. So that's why I would use to differentiate things. Can you describe II SXI from personal experience? I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think I know any SX5 closely. Very unassuming people, I think. He's right. This guy is right. SO4 is blueprinted 3V. It's so 3V. And that's our problem with that, Like it's super fucking 3V. And even when people were like, "Oh, maybe EVLF for SO4," which obviously is such a controversial type. But right? And that's also the problem because why the fuck would it have high will? Why would SO4 have high will? So it's a bit fucking problematic. How to tell apart Enneagram 9? Two different. One is completely numb the fuck out sensorical type, and the other one is extremely mental, extremely logical. Right? Extremely, again, linear, rational. It's like comparing fucking one F types to one L types. What types have you encountered the least? Probably LIEs probably. Maybe LIEs. I think LIEs are kind of rare. Can a type 8 become more introverted and less active? I think if you take medication that makes you numb, let's say, makes you maybe slows you down, right? Some medication, some person might have like a mood disorder, right? Some they take those mood stabilizers and they think can make you fucking tired and slow. But an 8 is an 8. An 8 is an 8. So yes, you can be more less active, you can be more like slow, but you're still gonna be a lustful person. You're still gonna have that lustful personality, and you're still gonna be very expanding on the environment, even if you are more so kind of fucking drowned out. That quality is always gonna be present. Medication can alter it to some degree, obviously, but you're not going to suddenly become just a complete docile cunt who sits in his house like he agreeable, fucking chilling, nothing. He just chills. I don't give a fuck what medication you take. That wouldn't explain it. What's up? Hello, Flow State. Welcome to this stream. I'm just scrolling through all of these messages because it's a bit slow for me. Where can I read about Model G? You just Google, man. Model G. Model G Gulenko. Google that. Model G Gulenko. You'll find your answer there. It's very easy. Any tips for identifying? I'm gonna love this question because I'm gonna give you the best answer that you have ever heard, and an answer that many women will hear and most likely start spurging. So get ready. Any tips for identifying SLE women if both are? Give me. SLE women don't exist. That's it. Sorry. No, they do exist. On a serious note, wait. You know what? Fuck. Let everyone see. Um, you have to understand. I'll tell you. I will be genuinely honest with you. I'm not playing. I'm not like being funny. I cannot think. There's only one, possibly one SLE woman that I think might be an SLE8 woman. One. From every person I've seen, all the personality database women, all of this shit. There's only one person ever that I think might be an SLE woman. You know what I'm saying? So you're already as a disadvantage by trying to figure out if she's an SLE or an SE. You already should look SE. Already you should be like, she's probably a fucking SE, right? But if that's not the case, maybe if she is autistic as fuck, like a woman that shouldn't be a woman, maybe it's more masculine, more straight to the point, less about bullshit. It's way less relational. Then it's gonna work, okay? But you have to look at that, right? Don't think an SLE8 woman, which is VFEL, is not going to be a charismatic woman who's charming everyone and going around being like a fucking relational person. They're going to be, again, much more masculine and not really oriented towards ethics. They're not going to give a fuck to play a game. They're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. Straight the fuck up. That's it. Do you think a relationship between SP8 and SO8, of course it can work. Don't listen to MBTI people. You need to understand that SP8 and SO4 are duals. You know what I'm saying? They are duals. Why am I saying they're duals? Because they're duals in fucking Socionics. So they're duals here. Can stop? Can someone stop saying SLE women don't exist? I've met to. Of course, SLE women exist, guys. It's a fuck, guys. It's a joke. Obviously, if we want to be real, it's just extremely rare. Okay, it's like fucking winning a lottery. That's it. It doesn't mean they don't exist. They're literally SLE women in history. Okay, relax, guys. Relax. It's although SLE women watching this will probably think it's funny. They're not even gonna give a fuck. That's the thing. What are some VFEL SO8 examples? That's a good question. I knew she's gonna. I knew she's gonna write. I knew she's gonna write to me. This motherfucker. But I knew it. See, I said there's only one fucking SLE woman. I think it might be as legit. I was thinking of her. This motherfucker. Oh fuck, that's funny. I open my DMs and there's a message. Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. Yo, oh shit, sorry, I got fucking distracted. My ADHD fucking acting up. As VFE, that's a good question, man. Let me think. Let me pull up my fucking list. Let me think. Let me think. Okay. Maybe. Wait, no. Fuck, dude. Oh my god, is there a single example? Okay. Hear me out. I have maybe one from the whole list. Bane from Dark Knight Rises. I mean, he seems more VFL to me, right? More stoic, controlled, cold. We might have one, which is rare though. It's rare as fuck. I cannot think of one in real life. That's for sure. Although SO8s in real life are not as common seems. Subtype. Would you say I should look into one? Let me think. One V. I don't know. I'm 1v4 maybe. Maybe 1v4 mainly because of your like you're probably more clear example of it, not because you're a lazy cunt, but because you're very much a lone wolf mentality individual. You want to go after what you want, and that's it, without much giving a fuck. And that kind of lone wolf mentality is much more 1v4. um Other than that, all the other subtypes I cannot tell you, but we can sit down and figure them out. It's no problem, man. It's easy. At least, can I hear VLFE SP7s? Fuck, let me see that. Uh, okay, so VLFE SP7, the type that comes to my mind is, is for example, 5 from Umbrella Academy. That's what comes to my mind. What about Kaz Breaker? Is he an VLFE? He might be a VLFE, right? Or is he not VLFE? Like, what do you guys think? That's a good question, but you're definitely in there. You know, with J.K. Rowling, you're probably in the right vicinity. You're thinking correctly. It's either gonna be SP4 and SP6, but I cannot really tell you, man. I cannot tell you. I just know that it's one of those types. I think she's an EII. I think she's a freaking EII. So there it is. I told you who I am. Megamind. You won't tell me I don't speak to you. Okay, I trust. I don't trust like that. Introverted intuition, the way I view it in a more practical way, is a certain detachment from the sensorical world. They don't view things as as a tangible way. So it's not that they're fucking believing in the crazy shit. Is that they kind of look beyond that. They look beyond patterns. What's the meaning of things, and they often create their own meaning. They're creating their own stories. You often hear many IIs talk about, like, oh, they want to live a story. They create a story in their mind. So it's very much a very abstract individual. Doesn't have to mean that they believe in astrology, but that they can often have a deep internal world that's very abstract. So, yeah, I have no idea why I thought. I don't blame you why you thought that. I don't blame you because I typed when I first watched Arcane. I typed as an SLE. The reason for me, the reasoning was like she did have this us against them. I did not look at it as gamma. Why I did not is because when Caitlyn came to the cell for the first time, she's like, "You're one of them. You're one of those people, right? The people on the fucking the rich motherfuckers." So there was I saw it as a more collectivistic mindset and more universal judgment, which is like, okay, seems more beta, right? And she didn't seem very relational. She seemed cold. She seemed very straightforward. She just didn't. There's no of that FE magic with Vi. So I'm like, she must be a SLE because it's weird. But fuck. Yeah, but the point is that it's not that it has meaning. It's the point that the NI base creates meaning. You can create meaning out of everything. That's the thing. You can have a fucking rock and you can create some meaning. That doesn't mean this rock can fly on the fucking moon, but you can add some story to it. So think about like and adding a story towards to something. That's all it is, Just adding a story behind something rather than seeing it for this very basic tangible thing that doesn't that's it's at face value. And he flow state is very right. um Meaning is something you give. It's something you give. So it's up to you. You I can look at something and think I can only see things for what they are. Bunch of fucking rocks and fucking flowers and fucking forest. Or someone who's an NI base can see much more. Not that they have visions, but the interpretation of those things goes deeper than just a bunch of fucking forest and this, right? I'm not sure because that would mean I would need to understand the fucking Hogwarts houses better. But I wouldn't be surprised if there is some correlation. There's correlation with nearly fucking everything in typology in relation to stuff outside of typology, like fucking Hogwarts hats, right? Because they're categorizing certain types of people, like ambitious people, ruthless people. So you can kind of put them, okay, gamma, let's say. So I would say this. I will tell you this. I'm not lying. I did shrooms. I did shrooms first time in my life, and I did it with my wife, and she told me the way you view it, the way you view the world now is how I view the world. That's my world. That's how it is for me. Now, I'm not saying I was seeing fucking visions when I was like, oh, visions, fuck, little unicorns. It's deeper than that. I had my eyes closed and I transcended fucking humanity. I transcended the fucking physical form. I saw my inner world and shit. I saw like everything made sense on a very abstract level. I became a fucking NI base. And that's how it is for an NI base. It's a deep, rich internal world. And that's how it is on the fucking shrooms. Acting like you don't know Hogwarts houses. You caught me. In fact, I used to love fucking Harry Potter. This is no cap. I used to love Harry Potter. Harry Potter was like my favorite shit. You know, I like the battles between people, right? Like, yeah, who's the stronger? Who is such a fucking SE base? Who's the stronger wizard? So used to always say, it's the coolest shit ever. But when it comes to like the hats, I know some basics. You know, I'm not the fucking bad. It's not reality. It's not reality, but maybe that's a good thing. I'm tripping right now, right? I sound like I'm tripping. I sound like I'm fucking and I suggestive right now. But I've always been so focused on reality, and I used to argue with people who were like, "Oh, my interpretation," and I'm like, "Your interpretation is subjective, and it's fucking garbage, and it's objective. The only thing that counts is fucking objective." But I think it gives you a different perspective on shit. It gives you meaning. You know, it gives life more meaning if you're able to do that, which is difficult to gain that meaning. But when you do shrooms, honestly, I do shrooms, change my whole fucking, it changed my whole perspective, changed my whole perspective. So that made me think, wow, there's so much more I'm not seeing. You know, it would be cool to see the reality for what it is, but also to see the meaningful side. And I geeking. I am probably Gryffindor. Probably Gryffindor. Slytherin is interesting because I used to always say I must be Slytherin. But when I was reading into Slytherin, it's a very like cunning and manipulative and very ambitious house, proving flow state that I know something about Hogwarts houses. But it's a very cunning, and very manipulative, very ambitious. So I was like, that doesn't, I'm not like a cunning individual, so I cannot really say that. Not particularly ambitious like that. What they describe as so success oriented. But one thing I did relate to Slytherin was their loyalty. It's funny, but I didn't know this, but they are very oriented towards loyalty, towards the Slytherin group. So I'm thinking I relate to that. So I related to that loyalty. You're with us. You're with us. Fuck the rest. We have to decapitate the rest. But I think Gryffindor probably has more of my values. I think or maybe I'm a Ravenclaw because I'm so smart. Beta NF. Beta NF. Um, she she has to make a choice. She's either a fucking EIE and she's a rational type, or she's a four core. As in, like, she's a fucking EIE or she's a four core. Pick one. You're either four core or you're not. And if maybe she sticks for four core, okay, reconsider types. But if she thinks she's an EIE, why is she fucking typing four? I'm confused. It's just a one big fucking clusterfuck on confusion for me. By vibes, you could make an argument for an IE SX7. Many of the old school EIEs are actually IEs SX7s. But I cannot tell you 100% what the fuck I think about her type. Because maybe I am wrong. That could be it. Ibrahim. Ibrahim is an LII. But please, someone please tell him he's mistyped in Enneagram. Please, guys. Oh my god, he's just going around typing as a one core. Oh my fucking god, no. He's not a one core. He's SO6. He's a social 6 LII. Ethy. Now, Ethy. I'm not going to lie to you. Ethy gives me TI Polar vibes. Ethy gives me major TI Polar vibes. A very smart person when it comes to accumulation of knowledge, when it comes to learning it. But there's some that weird vibes going on. Like typing, like certain characters just kind of like weird combinations, believing in very strange combinations, or typing Michael Corleone as a fucking self-preservation 7, some of Arthur Shelby as a 9, and some of these typings I just like got me like scratching my head, like none of this kind of makes any sense. So she's very good at accumulating knowledge and she's good at creating resources, but we all have our fucking limitations, you know? We all have our fucking limitations. She's probably an intuitive type. She's probably a fucking intuitive type. I don't know what Model T is. I cannot tell you. I cannot have an opinion if I don't know what Model T is. Pseudo intellectual. I would probably, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to say it, but I'll say it. Social 2. Social 2. I think Social 2 is the most pseudo intellectual. Think about it. EIE, they circle jerk intellectualism, but they're pseudo intellectualism. It's a fucking LARP. It's a like a LARP to be seen as that. Not saying they're not intelligent, but in my opinion, they're probably one of the most pseudo intellectuals. How do you did you figure out your IV? I just figured out I'm not SX1, SX first, SX8. I just figured out with that mainly because of how the subtype works. You know, it's very acts on pure impulse, right? It's very relational, very possessive of those bonds. It just doesn't do structure in any way or form. Like, doesn't give a fuck about the conclusions of logical conclusions of shit. It just acts on its pure impulse. So I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, that fucking ended badly. Um, fuck. Don't. You're gonna give me a fucking heart attack. You're asking me those fucking questions. You're making my 3L fucking explode. I cannot give you a great answer because I'm always thinking. I'm always being like, maybe I'm this. I'm either SP8 or SO8. Realistically, if you wanna like ever type me as anything that's not retarded, you need to type me those. Anything else than that, that's a fucking retardation take. It's really fucking retarded. Why did you do shrooms? I wanted to do shrooms. I wanted to experience it. It was, I don't know, sounds fun. Shrooms, wow. So that's why I wanted to do it, to experience the fucking journey. And I did. Blazer. I don't know Blazer. I don't know Blazer, but I can tell you this much. What kind of an SLE sits and creates his own fucking documents about like this weird circle jerking theory, fucking graphs, and fucking like, ooh, let me show you an analogy using sticks. Well, look at this interpretation. How many fucking SLEs do you know that would actually do that on their own? How many? It's weird, right? It's very fucking weird. Now, I don't know the guy. So that's the only thing I can tell you. I don't know him in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying the way he goes about information is a bit fucking sus. And you know what's funny? I think I'm a pseudo intellectual. I think, although I'm not even sure if I would count as pseudo intellectual, because I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so intellectual. Look at me. But look at me. I'm circle jerking fucking typology. Oh, guys, I'm giving you like words of wisdom. Everyone's asking me questions. I'm answering them like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. People want to know the truth. They want to know what I think of God. And then I'm going to say something very meaningful about God and reality and abstraction. And everyone's going to be like, wow, he's so fucking intelligent. He's an intellectual. So in reality, I would be a fucking pseudo intellectual. Probably. I use Oshra's classic Socionics. That's why I stick to. Thoughts on Lampsos? He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. I mean, yeah, I could say fucking a lot of shit about him. All the, I could, but I'm not gonna fucking do that. He's doing his own fucking thing. I don't give a fuck. Do you? I think maybe SOSX, maybe SOSX, right? Like what you kind of consider to be like SO4, the more crybaby, the more like externally, might be more SOSX. The fucking variants are tricky, man. Shrooms are a gateway. Are you going to do crack? I'm not. What the fuck? Oh my god, you just spoke like a boomer. You just spoke like a boomer. You spoke like those Christians who fucking tell me that jerking off is a gateway to fucking drug addiction. No, jerking off is not a gateway to fucking drug addiction or molestation of your cousins, okay? Same way, fucking shrooms are not a fucking gateway to fucking crack. But no, I'd never try crack. I'm not a fucking, druggie. I would never fucking do crack. It's nothing to mess with. And how can someone be impulsive? Well, how can someone be so methodical? How can someone always think before they speak? Right? The thing with impulsivity is that you're so immersed in the external world, you don't have internal monologue. You just you It's so strange because many people do have that internal, their voice always in their head saying something, always thinking, thoughts are always going. But imagine like your thoughts are instinctual, if that makes any sense. Your thoughts are completely instinctual, and you're so externally focused on what's ahead of you that you're not you are pure action. You act on that fucking instinct. And that's what happens with people who are impulsive. ESTJ LSI cosplayer, cosplayer, million level cosplayer, million. Tell him to stop coping. Don't type as a fucking LSI. Don't type as an ESTJ. You're not a fucking ESTJ. Do you know why? Because an ESTJ is TE dominant. And you know what is TE dominant? Extroverted thinking in you. Do you know what the fuck that is? LSE. Tell your friend or whoever the fuck that is, they're mistaken. They're very mistaken. One V is the opposite of imposter syndrome. I read about imposter syndrome someone figuring out that you are like you are a fraud? Is that imposter syndrome? Or I forgot what that was. Explain it to me. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna do crack for memes. I'm gonna get on the fucking stream and do crack for memes. No, I'm not gonna fucking do crack. Come on, man. I have some fucking standards here. I can hear myself. You fucking. Oh shit. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You should be careful. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Don't worry. Don't. Come on. Don't be scared. You're gonna make them think you. Come on. Don't throw the fucking pillow. I swear to God. Don't throw the fucking pillow. I don't give a fuck if I'm on a stream. I'm completely fucking unhinged. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Fuck. Where the fuck's the pillow? Sorry, guys. Fucking bitch. Fucking throw shit at me. Nobody throws shit at me without fucking consequences. Semi-duality. I would describe it like this. It starts well, smooth sailing for some period of time, and then you hit a block, a communication block. That's semi-duality. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. He would never be an SLE. Never in a million years. And even EIE is weird. Rational type is very weird. It's like what? So this is imposter syndrome. Okay, this is the imposter syndrome. Okay. Honestly, in my entire life, I never thought that. I never thought like, oh my god, I don't deserve this. And I don't think one of you would question that kind of thing. Seems weird. Seems very weird. Very weird. I don't think so. Bitch, you a meme. Duality is real. Alexander the Great, SCE, SO8. Some say he was a two-core. What do you guys think? First time I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think he was a two-core? You use a notably high amount of L compared to L. Your logic seems very right spinning in nature how it goes from beginning to end. I'm assuming he's here talking about me, Professor. I know, yeah. So I know you typed me LSI and Model G. I think there are a few people who type me LSI and Model G. There are those people out there. Oh, he's not talking about me. Okay. But it's the same shit because I'm pretty sure it's the same shit. Yeah. Higher level, right spinning. Makes sense. Alexander the Great Monarch, I don't fucking care. That's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel about it. Real question: apples of person. Apples. Apples all day, motherfucking. Now I used to like apples when I was a kid. I don't know why I'm saying when I was a kid. Just very sweet. Maybe that's why it's. I'm not that kind of a guy anymore. I'm not that kind of a guy anymore. Why don't you start OnlyFans? Why would the fuck would I start OnlyFans? How, that doesn't make sense. Why would you fucking do OnlyFans and do crack on OnlyFans? That's like that. I'm gonna type you IEE. I'm gonna type you genuinely IEE SX7. This is the most IEE shit anyone ever said in this fucking chat. Why don't you do OnlyFans so you can do crack? IEE as fuck. Enjoy the type. The typing. Kevin, I cannot with a clear conscience type you any IE. I cannot with a like clear conscience type you a fucking EIE. Think about it, a rational type. How the fuck would I do that? How the fuck would I do that? So it would be a crime. It would be a crime to type you a fucking EIE. So just take the IE label, go with it. It's very misunderstood. That's all I can tell you. It's very misunderstood. The chat is ruined. I'm such a good mod. I'm such a good mod. Time to start banning. Time to stop banning. I'm joking. Don't ban anyone. Yeah, April. I'm an LSI too, April, though. Like, it's kind of not, it's, you need to understand, you're not special because I'm also an LSI and a Model G. I'm an LSI and you're an LSI and Elon Musk is an LSI. Raven's EIE. L is probably EIE, I guess. Or something. I am creative LSI. Yeah. We'll see. Listen, we will see though, because Rune is gonna type me, okay? Rune will type me. You still like Harry Potter? I said I like Harry Potter. I said it. I literally saying I like Harry Potter. Don't be grinning at me. People die for less. But yeah, I am LSI NC by SEH. So how the fuck did you manage to stay an LSI? Rune is gonna type me. And when Rune types me, which I have a feeling he's gonna type me SLE. I have a feeling in my soul Rune will type me SLE. Do you know why? I'll tell you why Rune will type me SLE. I will tell you. Temperament. That's what Model G folks forget. Temperament. Rune is not gonna type me IJ temperament over EP temperament. I don't see it. Rune will type me EP temperament. Restless energy. On the go all the time. Go, 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 go. I don't see it. It's not gonna happen, in my opinion. But we'll see. If I'm typed as LSI, cool. I'm gonna be a cool LSI. Eventual Socionics diss track comes out. Just don't. I'm not a fan of obsessing about other people or even making content about other people. I'm not a fan of that personally. Like, it's not something I would do. Oh yeah, look at me. I'm gonna comment on those different channels. That's not me. It's like my dude. I'm focused out there. I'm focused there. So I don't give a fuck what you do, what he does. I don't give a fuck about any of that. So if I was you, I would use that energy, transfer it into something better for you. Fuck all of those YouTubers. Fuck me. We don't matter to you. In your world, we should not matter. So like, focus on your own shit. Do that. Trolling is fun. But okay, think about who's gonna find it funny. Bunch of fucking teenagers from personality database who have no fucking life. Think about what kind of fucking people will be like, oh my god, that's so funny. Retards. Really fucking retarded people with stunted fucking development, emotionality of a fucking 10-year-old. You don't be like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. It's a waste of time. No. What brings more people is more good content. More drama brings more kids. More drama brings more fucking no lifing, basement dwelling, 3v virgins. That's what it does. It doesn't help actually. It seems like it does because it brings more attention, but in the long run, it doesn't do fucking anything good. uh, if you make a podcast on Socionics and you say you don't know any Socionics YouTubers, you're either lying and coping or you don't know Socionics. I mean, that's my opinion. You don't know any Socionics YouTubers. You don't know Jack, the icon of WSS. Sure, sure, buddy. Yep. I will post more shots on TikTok. Yep. I will always do that for sure. I'm just not a fan of trolling. I think trolling is a fun. It's a weird concept. I'm trolling. I'll troll your fucking face. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Even when I was fucking 16, 17, I wasn't going like, I'm gonna troll this person. The trolling didn't exist in my vocabulary. And when I was doing something and people were like, he's trolling, he's a troll, I'm like, guys, I'm not fucking trolling. I genuinely am saying what the fuck I'm saying. So, god damn it, fuck trolling. I don't think I'm good at trolling. Maybe I'm good at I don't fucking know. I just I think people take this trolling in a weird way. Sometimes they excuse some behaviors by saying, trolling. It's like I'm supposed to laugh. Like if some of the behaviors that people do on the internet, if they did it on the street, what do you think would be the reaction? First of all, of course, they wouldn't do it on the street. They wouldn't do it to people's faces. But imagine if it would. All this, I'm just trolling. Like, what will happen with the person? In some situation, maybe when a person is a certain type of individual, right? That's the problem with this fucking culture. Tate is I'm looking LIE for Tate. I'm starting to look at LIE for Tate. Um, and Myron, I don't know. I was thinking Myron. I was talking to someone that Myron might be like a TE base. I was thinking of that. I was thinking LSI at the beginning, but his focus on objective data, constant circle jerk of like statistics, information, objective information. He doesn't seem to have that strong internal fucking logic, in my opinion. So that's where I am at with things. That's the thing. Yeah, because you'll meet some people who will be that way, like they don't take jokes well, or maybe some people are just violent, or maybe some people are just rude, or they're insensitive. So you start you be trying to take banter, and then boom, someone's elbow on your face. And that does happen. I mean, when if I was in public, I wouldn't want some random guy going at me and like, I'm just gonna banter with you because I don't know you, I don't know who the fuck you are. And your attitude, like, like, I guess, okay, disrespect, right? Disrespect, or maybe some kind of hostility there. Like, what are you trying to say? I mean, imagine seeing that shit randomly on the fucking street. Some motherfucker does that to you. Like, obviously, it would be you would probably react with hostility, or kind of like, what the fuck, right? Confusion. What is this guy talking about? Yes, I was. I was. I mean, listen, I cannot say that. Listen, if I sit here and tell you, oh, I didn't push people's buttons, I would be lying to you. But would I say, would I view it as trolling? No, I never really. It's interesting because that to me wasn't trolling. I just liked maybe some. There was probably a component of sadism, I guess, right? To elicit certain fucking reactions in people, to kind of act towards them however the fuck I want to act, to make them fucking mad and spurg and fucking cry out, right? But would I view it, oh, I'm just trolling? I would never say that I'm just trolling. That would never be my line of reasoning. Maybe some person would think that's trolling. Personally, I don't view that as trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm just literally butchering you like a fucking pig. That's not trolling. SX, uh, SX5 and SX8 have nothing in common. Nothing. Like, I'm genuinely gonna tell you, they have nothing in common. There's nothing in common. So there's no, for me to say the differences between both, whatever. It's crazy. Hey, trolling as ignorant. I don't know what you mean by that. Kratos. I would type Kratos as probably, yeah, LSC SX1. Probably the new Kratos, at least. I would never make that. I would never make that tier list. The types I can beat to death. No, it's such. First of all, it seems like such a circle jerk. Oh, which types could I beat? Oh fuck. Oh yeah, yeah. It seems such a circle jerk. It's such a circle jerk. That could work. Yeah, that could work. Wait, fuck. Well, types most likely to do crack cocaine. Yeah. Um. I don't think many types would qualify. I'm. 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 I'm seriously telling you. I don't think many types would qualify. It would just be. It would be very little. Jake seems like an SLE to me, and I'm thinking eight. I'm thinking recently. I'm thinking eight. Some kind of eight. Um. Not fucking SX8. Are you crazy? Take it back right now. I'm gonna fucking ban you from the chat. Sorry, guys. Babe, don't not SXA. He's not SXA, honey. He has no fucking not at all. Did you see how he is? He's a fucking autistic motherfucker. He's very he's not expressive at all. And he's actually very good at not that, okay. Oh shit, I fucked up, right? Wait, was I saying about something else? Oh, you were saying about crack. Oh fuck. I was nearly butchering you. Oh my bad. My bad, my wifey. ESC SP2. Princess. Princess who likes to fucking get fat. In my opinion, I'm gonna be honest with you. No one can sit here and tell you no, they don't work. Because we don't, how can we know? But generally, the gender roles here matter. Okay, the gender here matters big time. Male AI, it doesn't fit as well, man. SLE male with a AI female is perfect, yes. It fits very well, yin and yang. With the male being an AI and the female being SLE, it kind of fucks things up because there's also gender differences and certain general societal expectations can backfire. It can backfire. Logan seems dodgy. I cannot figure Logan out though. I cannot figure Logan out. Oh fuck! It's funny, but actually, I think in the beta quadra, in the delta quadra, it would be better. It's funny, but I think EII male would work decently with female LSE. With a male AI and a female SLE, there's that beta quadra dynamic, power dynamic, push and pull. It's much more feisty, It's a bit different, I mean, in my opinion, with the fucking deltas, they can make it work. They can make it work. They're fucking, peasants. Not peasants. They're good people. They're good people. Don't say peasants, Michael. That's not fucking good. No. Uh, Some AIs are more masculine than others. Let's not sit here and say, but I know what is going to happen then. If I say some AIs are more masculine than others, then people will be saying, well, that means also that SLEs can be more feminine and some might be more masculine. And obviously, I'll sit here and tell you that's not fucking possible. So don't fucking, don't you sigh at me. It's not nice. I love you damn deeply and you sighing at me. I will throw a pillow at you. Big time. What is a feminine? SLE cannot be feminine. It's not possible. It's not possible. Spacey, listen, I just don't see 8 in him. I could see it in Jake. Jake is much more fucking real. Logan is too much of a fucking image-oriented fucking rat. But, uh, Goblin, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Goblin. Take care. Take care and shit. Enjoy your SLE dummy mommy dom mom dom. We talked about this. I like this woman. Yes, but she's not a feminine. She's not feminine though. Come on, dude. She's a fucking bad bitch. She's classy. You're thinking about she's very elegant and classy, but she's not the most feminine. She's just very elegant. This person's asking, what season? She's of course she's not manly. She's a bad bitch, you know. But I wouldn't say she's feminine. Maybe I like her. She's great. I do like her. She's great. She's a great female example of SLE. Now with that attitude. That's funny. PY compatibility. I don't even think PY has compatibility. Genuinely, I don't think it does. I'm not sold on it. Yes, they can. What do you mean they can? You mean they can have compatibility? No, I mean I know. I mean in theory, but how effective is it? No one knows. Okay, guys, listen. It's time to wrap. How long was this? How long was this? 2 hours? It was 2 hours stream. As I said, Friday, I pulled through, made the promise, filmed a corpse. Yeah, but listen, but Logan is too much of a snake. He's a v- is a he, Logan is a snake who will do anything to get approval of people and the right attention. Like he doesn't give a fuck, man. He's not real, you know. He's he's gonna say what the fuck he thinks makes him look good. He's a fucking rat. But yeah, 2 hours, Carl. 2 hours, a long stream. But next week we're also gonna repeat it. So yeah, of course he's such a piece of shit. The thing is with Jake, at least Jake's a fucking dick, but he doesn't try to say he's not a dick. With Logan, he's always trying to play those games. Bye bye. Thank you for coming to the stream, by the way. I appreciate it. But anyway, guys, listen. It's time for me to wrap it up, okay? I will stream next week around the same time. Remember, my videos I always record my videos. I always upload them at the same time, around the same time, once I upload them, which is 9 p.m. my time. I don't know about what your fucking time, but that's usually when I upload them. That's when you should expect a stream. Like, bring the crack next time, and then we can have a party. Anyway, well, if you first you need to have the fucking money. Anyway, go. Okay, guys, let's fuck off, and thank you everyone for coming into the stream and watching it. See you next week, and let's get it going. Let's do some MBTI next. INFJ, stereotypes, myths. It's gonna be really fun. So bye bye. Take care, guys.